Within the first 20 seconds of this piece, they've said nothing yet everything. They bring the make me care asset right out the gate, creating the source of I need to see where these group of guys go from here after the tragic histories that they've endured. You know, we've taken the time to get to know each and every single one of the guys here in this trio. We are at times out of control of certain outcomes, yet we can still be brought to new places despite the hardships that we occur. The heart wrenching tale of the loss of a loved one, one of the trio's daughters, essentially is the catalyst of this documentary. You want them to go on this trip together. You want them to have this moment of adventure. You're rooting for them to heal more than they ever have before. This film has an excellent way of guiding us on their journey with these individuals and their counterparts that they cross along the way.
Killer cinematography. I mean, this whole film was beautiful. What they did, what the filmmakers did with shooting it, and their camera angles, and a lot of the special effects that they used, and different cameras that they used, like the drone shots and the GoPro. All of that was so gorgeous and amazing, but so was the subject matter. The subject matter was just as beautiful. And I was really, really excited when I started realizing what this film was about. I was excited to learn more about it. I um, I loved the interviews. I loved hearing and watching them ride these bikes and the stunts that they were doing, where the bikes could go and what they were doing with them. I just think was absolutely amazing. It it was inspiring in so many ways, but it was also a kick in the ass because it made me feel very lazy and it made me feel like I was taking for granted a lot of my mobility and how much more I could be doing to kind of enrich my own life.
Getting to hear from so many different people. There was one young man who his story was so touching when he was saying that, like, he got out of the hospital and he was hanging out with his friends, and he never felt like a burden. His friends were like, "Oh, there's some stairs. We're going to carry you up the stairs." Like, no problem. And life just kind of carried on. And I think that there are so many different outlooks that can be taken from having to go through an experience like this. And for a lot of people, it's not positive, right? And it doesn't have to be. And there's no right or wrong way to deal with your body changing in a permanent way. um, but not only are these people able to find a purpose or refine their purpose again, but finding ways to adapt and overcome regardless, is really, really cool. And I'm so glad that we got to meet these people and see them. I thought the cinematography was so good. I really liked um, the like first person POV. It must have been like a GoPro or something, and you could see them on the trail. And I loved those shots. I thought they were so cool. It felt like I was there. I love those overhead drone shots. I mean, BC is just such a beautiful, beautiful place and landscape.
I think it was a really creative look at, um, cinematography wise. I think you did a really great job of capturing all the different angles and the different movements. I think there were a lot of great shots in there. I think these stories were really interesting. Um, I think it's a great transition from people who were, able-bodied and really active, and seeing how they adapt and maintain that in this new way of life that they have to. Um, it was a really uplifting story. It was really informational, seeing how they go about their day-to-day lives and keeping active.
It was touching to see each person's experience in this overcoming of what a lot of people would consider just a very a life-changing traumatic event. Um, and then kind of seeing how they all sought out a new purpose and had all that in common was also lovely. I really loved the point of view from the adaptive bikes. That was thrilling to feel like I am experiencing the same point of view as the person that is operating the vehicle. It just to feel like I'm in the seat and feeling the terrain and whipping around the corners. I just thought that was a lovely visual element. I thought that was very touching and just telling uh of what can be done when people put their heads together and make the decision to be inclusive instead of exclusive. Things can take place and things are a lot, more possible than you may have assumed that they would be. But it was a joy to learn about this and just to see the full circle for a lot of the people that had dealt with these issues of paralyzation, and then seeing that life isn't over. You still can have that bike ride with your daughter. You can still race competitively. It just opened the doors of a lot of possibilities.
It's extremely inspiring. I liked how it shows their experiences before their accidents and how the accident impacted their lives and how it came about. And then I think most importantly, their response to it. It's really inspiring to hear the different athletes' perspectives on life and how they adapted um, and found really creative solutions to continuing their passion for cross country mountain biking or cross terrain mountain biking. And it's just a really, really uplifting and inspiring documentary.
That's the most powerful thing from the film. There's these people, after losing part of their body, after having to adapt to a new life with this new special, powerful wheelchair, they can do what they used to do before. They can go back and start their life, start a second life. And I think this was the really most important thing of the film. The sense of power that these people gain now with this new wheelchair, but also on top of their strength, their mental strength, because they had these terrible accidents, but not giving up.